Hello everyone, my name is Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing my favorites of the year. And I think this is such an exciting video to film because you can talk about the books that really touched you and discuss it with other people. So I think that's really fun. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into 3 honorable mentions. I'm not going to really go into them too much. Just going to do some vibes, keywords, things that to understand the book, you need to understand these keywords, I guess. Best way I can describe it right now. But I don't want to go too much into them because I have other books to talk about. So, yeah. Anyway, first is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. So I would describe this as intense, political, and dystopian. Next, we have Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. I would describe this as informative, historical, and nonfiction. And then lastly, we have The Collective Schizophrenias by Esme Wu Jinwen. And I would describe these as academic essays and schizophrenia. Okay, now that we have the honorable mentions out of the way, I do have top 3 favorites of the year. Considering I've read 43 books this year already, as the filming of this video, it was a lot to get through. I was like, oh my gosh, which ones do I choose? But actually what I did was I chose new to me books rather than books that I had reread already. And yeah, I wanted new to me books so I'd be able to discuss books that I haven't really talked about on my channel. I felt like that was the best way to go about it. So the first book that I want to talk about is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, and I gave this 5 stars. So once I discuss this a little bit more, I think you'll understand why I gave it 5 stars. I know for a lot of people it was kind of meh, but for me, I thought it was absolutely incredible. So to give a brief synopsis of this, it is a crew, like a space crew, going through wormholes, like black holes, like making wormholes, I guess. And it's a very diverse crew. There's this one woman that comes in, I don't remember her name now, I'm sorry. She comes in as part of the receptionist staff, like taking care of all the paperwork and stuff, right? And she comes in and she finds this crew that's very, like I said, diverse, and they have all their own problems, and they're like real life people. And there's also aliens, which I found very interesting. I think one of the best parts of this was actually, sorry for spoilers for a bit here. One of the best parts was between the main character and one of the aliens, and it had to do with consent. It had to do with an intimate moment between the two of them, and the consent with these characters was absolutely top tier because they were talking about like their bodies and what brings them pleasure and what it means for them to feel pleasure rather than just thinking of it from a human perspective. I thought that was really cool. Like, I really like that idea. When I went to Goodreads, I didn't review it. I don't leave many reviews on Goodreads unless I get like an arc. But I thought it was absolutely incredible, and I definitely highly recommend it. Okay, moving on. We have Bigfoot in Love and Other Stories by Hannah Burse. So I got this as an arc, which I was like just discussing kind of. And it was so incredibly good. Probably one of the best arcs I've ever read in my entire life. And I'm so happy that I asked her for an arc. Like, I guess she was on Instagram and talking about sending out arcs and wanting more readers and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, this short story collection sounds amazing, and I definitely want to try it out. So I'm happy I did. To give you an idea, this is a short story collection about a wide variety of characters. It doesn't just stick to one type of person. It's about love. It's about loss. It's about grief. It's about all of these emotions that you have around love that's platonic, but also a relationship kind of love. And it's very beautiful. So I'll actually read my review out because I made quite the review, right? So let's read it out. With the tagline 15 Tales of Love and Loss spanning the romantic platonic line, I was expecting something cozy and sweet. The stories delivered this, as well as raw angst, grief, and love. At points, I was ugly crying over the emotions the stories evoked. That I was enjoying the most beautiful platonic love that comes from found families or born G families. While this collection is short, it packs so much love and emotion throughout it, you will not be disappointed. Such an incredible read. 5 out of 5 stars. So, like, you can tell this had, like, an emotional impact on me. I feel like if I give something 5 stars, it has to evoke something from me. And this definitely did. The representation of grief was probably one of the best I've ever read. It makes me think that she either understands it or was close to somebody with grief. Because, like, wow, it was so well done. And, yeah, that's it for that. And then lastly, my number 1 pick for the year. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. So I know it's kind of a cheat to put the same author on a list twice, but this book was something else. It was something else, let me tell you. So, yeah, just, I'll hold it up, sorry. Okay, so this is following Hamish Abernathy, I believe his last name is. He's in the Hunger Games in the Quarter Quell. So the Quarter Quell essentially means that they do something extra special when they announce the Hunger Games for that year, because it's the 25th anniversary of the Hunger Games. So they wanted to do something special, yay! And for this special thing, they decide to take double the amount of tributes that they usually do. Which is a little more horrifying than usual, because it's like, oh, it was like 24, now it's 48 people in there. So that's pretty crazy. Anyway, we have Hamish, who we know from the Hunger Games series, like the original series. And he's just trying to navigate life in the District 12 with his love interest, who is not listed here. I don't even remember her name. It's not Lucy, because that's the one in The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I don't remember her name right now. I'm terrible. Anyway, so he just wants to live his life. He wants to be with his love. He wants to try to figure out his life and everything that comes with it. But essentially, he accidentally, kind of on purpose, it's hard to explain without spoiling it, but he gets part of the Hunger Games. He's not actually reaped, which is a little scary to know that you can just like be dragged into the Hunger Games. And that's kind of what happens to him. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, so to say. I feel so bad for him. Like, this book is just tearing your heart out 1,000 times over. And that's like Hamish's whole life, him becoming an alcoholic after going through so much trauma. And it's really horrifying. I'd say there's a lot of trigger warnings for this book too. Like, there's I don't even know how to describe some of the trigger warnings. Like, some of it is just like death and grief, but also madness, and obviously the murder throughout the Hunger Games, political stuff, and just not having control over your life. And I think that's one of the most horrifying parts of this book, is that he has literally no control. He's like nothing compared to the Capitol and President Snow. And that's just something else. And I did give this book 5 stars, because, like, wow. I think Suzanne Collins definitely upped her game in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and Sunrise on the Reaping, because I think she aged it up, because, like, obviously when you were reading the original Hunger Games, you were like 14 to 16, and going from that to like 30 like I am now, it's there's an adjustment period for books, right? And yeah. So, let me know down below. Have you read any of these books? Were they your favorites? What was your favorites of this year? I would love to know. And I think that's everything. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.